Hi, and welcome back to the Trusted Visions podcast. This month, we've been getting granular with the financial services industry, and I believe this week we have saved the best for last. So we'll get into it right now. Jeremy, take it away.
John, I love that we saved this topic for last for this month to close out this monthly podcast series. First week, we talked about recruiters and third-party recruiting firms. Then we talked about broker-dealers and getting granular. And as you always put it, you saved the best for last. So great question as it pertains to OSJs, enterprises, all one and the same, and advisors, and advice that we would have for them and really getting granular with them. And so the first thing I would say to our audience being OSJs and advisors is it's always fascinated me that you talk to your clients about unexpected occurrences in life and plan for the unexpected. The proverbial, you go outside and get hit by a bus. What is your wife or your husband going to do? But yet ask yourselves, and this isn't meant to be dig at you, but are you doing the same? In that, if your broker dealer is potentially going to be sold, if there's consolidation happening, if service has gone down, if technology has gone down, are you planning for those unexpected occurrences in your business? Because if you're not, I highly recommend that you always know what's out there, even if you're not going to make a move. And if you're working with a recruiting firm or a recruiter that's really pushing you of, hey, you got to hurry up and do this, they're probably not ones that you should be working with because they're not taking a consultative approach with you as their client. And so that would be my first suggestion is plan for the unexpected, because the consolidation in the industry is never going to stop. It's only going to accelerate, and you never know what's around the corner. My second piece of advice would be, I call it the head in the sand approach of, you're seeing changes within your broker dealer, whether you're an OSJ or an advisor. Technology has become antiquated. Policies and procedures or compliance have become cumbersome, and a lot of people would call them the business prevention units. There's roll-ups happening within your firm. There's service issues that are continuing to get worse. Well, those aren't going to get better overnight. And so if one problem is happening and then the next, why are you putting your head in the sand thinking it's going to go away? As I mentioned in the broker dealer segment last week, is your broker dealer should be striving to earn your business as their client each and every day. And so don't put your head in the sand. And I always suggest every 2-3 years, go out and look at what's out there and know, what each broker dealer is offering. So that if you do have to pivot from your current broker dealer because of technology or service or change in pricing or payouts, you know at least where you would want to go, and you know what their offering is starting from scratch. And we've talked about this a lot in all of our podcasts of having a plan B in place. That doesn't mean you have to move, but explore broker dealers every 2 to 3 years, because things have changed. I mean, some of those broker dealers that you have a preconceived notion about, they've changed technology. They've bettered payouts and pricing. They've gotten more aggressive on transition money. Their technology is much better. So always have a plan B in place. And this, again, not a dig to OSJs. I always have said that it is your responsibility as an OSJ to your advisors to be exploring and conducting due diligence on other broker dealers to see if there's something better out there. Because, and I've had a lot of OSJs reach out to me and say, hey, I'm getting frustrated because I'm losing a bunch of advisors within my group. They're going to other firms. Well, if you're not taking on that responsibility in exploring what's out there and doing your due diligence, the first, second, third, fourth call may not attract one of your advisors to explore options. It may be that fifth, it may be that 10th, whether it's better payouts, whether it's better advisory pricing, whether it's better policies and procedures, whether it's the transition money, whether it's technology. So take it upon yourself to really look at what's out there on a regular basis. And following into my next point is regularly communicate to your advisors that you are conducting due diligence, and that if or when you and the group are ever ready to move, that they will have a say in that. But reassure them Because if you're experiencing the changes that are taking place within your broker dealer, guess what? They're experiencing even more, and they're probably getting even more frustrated than you. And so communicate with your advisors. A lot of OSJs are scared. They don't want to talk to their advisors until they know whether they're leaving. You don't have to go through that process. They want your regular communication. Um, I would also say that be open and honest with your advisors at an OSJ what your group's payouts are. And if you're being fair with your payouts to your advisors, there's nothing to hide. Every advisor I've ever worked with understands the level of service and support you as an OSJ bring to them and how you help their business become more efficient. So be open with what your payout is, because what happens is, and I just had this happen a couple of weeks ago, an advisor goes to a conference within the broker dealer community talking to another advisor that's with a different OSJ, and this advisor is doing less production than advisor A. And then all of a sudden, advisor A is upset because this advisor is getting a better payout with a different OSJ, versus you have to deliver your value proposition and why you're taking the override you're taking, but be open and honest about your payouts and pricing. The last thing I would say, and don't take offense, audience, to this, is OSJs and advisors. If you're working with a third party recruiting firm or even working with a corporate recruiter, if you schedule a call with them, make sure you show up, because how frustrating is it if you're working with a client and they schedule a call for you and then don't show up? Or better yet, if a firm like ours had scheduled a call for you and we didn't show up, you're probably never going to talk to us again. So be, reputationally aware of the impact that makes, and be honest with your intentions. It's okay to say, you know what, I just want to explore my options. I don't think I'm ready to move, but I want to explore my options. That's okay. Just be upfront about your intentions. And even if with transition money being at a historical high, it's okay to say, I want to get the most amount of money that's being offered out there. It's okay. It doesn't make you greedy. The money that is being offered out there is astronomical. So, audience, I hope that you enjoyed this podcast and provided with some useful information, and you enjoyed the podcast series. This was a fun month, John.
OSJs and advisors certainly appreciate a bit of advice from a tenured professional such as yourself. If you guys would like to reach out to Jeremy, you can contact him at 480-430-5012 or email him at info@trustdivisions.com. We look forward to next week's podcast where we start a new series. See you then.